Captain short-handed. Lapa makes a move. Goes to the net. And scores! Recto, a shot. Scores! That guy comes! Recto for Vikings scoring! Here's the shot. Save better!
You're watching Southern Lehigh Spartans hockey only on Nick's Hockey Broadcast.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Parkland. This is the Ice Rink. Tonight in the LA Channel is a big game between the Parkland Trojans and the Southern Lehigh Spartans. But before this game begins, we wish to take this time to honor 2024-2025 Southern Lehigh seniors. We have a total of 8 seniors, 8 outstanding hockey players, and 8 young men with bright futures on this ice. The first senior is number 77, Grant Strauss. Grant is also a member of LERSC rugby organization. His favorite pastime memories is playing every game with his new friends. We know that they both is long and he's playing independent for the attitude nature in business. Our next senior is number 25, Josh Polson. Josh is a member of the West Buddies Club. He also plays for the 18 single A team. For the 2023-24 season, Josh had 37 points and 36 games for fantasy 16. His favorite national hockey memory is being drafted to play for Southern Lehigh in our first look at Parkland earlier this season. He would like to go those common and make play possible. He would also like to his teammates and coaches to be on the field as one big family. Josh plans to attend Shippensburg University, not only to be playing great game of hockey, but also obtain a degree in secondary education. The next senior is Carly Cruz, a man who refers to as Big Red. In goal number 34, Connor Williams. Connor is currently at the secondary senior technology volunteer in the Toronto Fire Department. He also plays for the 18 of the 18. His favorite Southern memories stem from the locker room. He also did his parents for continued support and also goes around for the opportunity to play Southern Lehigh in the future. We're going to play to continue playing hockey and become a Pennsylvania State Trooper. Next year is one of the most dynamic players in the game today. Spartans leader in goals and LESL All-Star number 58, Shane Redden. He's also a member of the Singapore national hockey team. During his sophomore season, Shane had the first goal in the league with 18 while playing for the Phillipsburg Lions. His favorite Southern memory is watching fellow senior Tyler Carlson getting level by kids at his size. He would have been standing for supporting all areas of life and is very seriously wanted to love the game. After this, Shane will serve for 2 years in the Singapore Armed Forces before going to college to major in aerospace engineering. The next senior is one of the in recent years. Before every game, he always says 3 words: tear me up. And you know something, Tyler, you got it. We're here to do the 88. He's number 88, Tyler Burns. Tyler is a member of the youth. Oh my God, it's horrible. His favorite hockey memory is scoring goals and being with his friends. He did all his goals over the years with parents, brothers, and friends. I love that man. Year of hockey and then figure the rest out from there.
Alright, yo, you can't tell me that's not real.
Our next year, 2022 league champion, and his first straight year as a Spartan. Please welcome number 16, Paul His secret record of Southern Lehigh is when Coach Trevor slammed his clipboard and yeah, that still was he's not out of the box. Cole's future plans is to get his real racing license in the future. The next senior is perhaps one of the most legendary players in Spartans franchise history. This stands for time, and overtime with goals does not happen, and the 2023 Rams got the final on his team needed the most, and created one of the most iconic calls of my young broadcasting career. It's down to South Lehigh. Number 2. Varsity club and student council. He also plays baseball outside of the He's captain of the fantasy East of Lehigh. His senior year was his great championship freshman year and his clutch performance in the national final. The best part of the league was celebrated in the student section, and here we got all of YouTube's broadcast the next day. Thank you, MJ, but you made the play like it's told the score. And this is the MJ also is so seniors and other teammates for the 84 years he's been here. Even his mom, dad, and brothers always come to every game, even if they didn't withstand the freezing weather. He would also look at his grandparents and uncle because even if they weren't at the game, they could still get to watch on YouTube. MJ played at a 4-year university to study biological sciences. The final senior is probably the most fastest player I have met on this team the last few years. A playoff warrior, a league champion, the ultimate trash talker, and the biggest Baltimore Ravens fan on the planet. Number 15, Dan Parkland! Nick is a member of the team captain of the pickleball club and varsity club. He also plays field hockey for the fantasy ECA team. His senior record is winning the championship in his freshman year and scored a game with the ball in his freshman year to set up the championship at Parkland several years ago. And helping Coach Trevor to beat your parents for season 2023 national final. He was referred to his father and his child did all the way time he put to his hockey career. He also thank Coach Trevor for bringing us together and coming back even after everything got crashing. Lastly, we would like to thank all seniors for the rain during sophomore freshman year. I'm not sure what we need to thank you for all of you. In the future, we will attend a 4-year university in Asian business management. Before we end this ceremony, I want to visit a few words here. For those of you who don't know, I am a Scout broadcaster for the LA Spartans for the last few years. It's been a great pleasure to know all that played and lost on here as I know this is life. The Spartans these years have been some of the best times for you and honestly for me. Goal, MJ, and Nick. I've been doing this for freshmen and now you're seniors. You were the last players for the 2022 champion team. And as we move on after this season, I feel that I should as well. After this 2020 Vegas Cup, I will be retired as a broadcaster for me and as far as hockey team. I will continue to serve my trade, work with this great league, and whatever it takes next, I will never forget what we all did together. It's true to the team this year and the previous ones, you've all been a blessing in my life. So thank you so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, 2024, 2025, Southern Lehigh seniors.
You're watching Southern Lehigh Spartans hockey only on Nick's Hockey Broadcast. For those of you who were watching live earlier, this is a different stream I put out. The first one I put out, I had some technical issues on. Hopefully more people join us live while I'm here. But I had to switch the link up pretty quickly as I wasn't able to get a pregame done, but we are now underway. It's the Spartans and the Trojans, and the biggest game in the regular season in the LVSHL. Meyer still off the boards. So if you just tuned in, sorry that I switched the stream to the original thing I promoted earlier today, or actually last night. I had some technical issues. I'll go over more of that later. I'll talk about what I was going to say in the pregame and a little bit in Southern Lehigh's senior night. Kept on the point there. Good play made by Darren Lorch, brother of Kutztown Golden Bear Andrew Lorch. Here comes Southern Lehigh back the other way. They're moving on the wing here. This was Bertelsen who lost it there from Bryce Haas. Clear down here, no icing as they wave it off. Parkland trying to get back the other way. It was intercepted there by Austin Easler as it's tipped off a few sticks and back towards center. Parkland regroups here. This is Eric Zager, former teammate of Josh Bauer. We'll get a line change now for both teams. Zager trying to shoot it in as suddenly I will attempt to clear it back the other way. Here comes Ethan Myrick on the left side. Myrick trying to go right around behind the goal here for the Spartans. The junior still holds on. Myrick at cross ice for Redden. Redden behind the net. Holds on here. He's going to wait to pass it towards the point. He does there for Josh Tolshin. It's blocked off of Parkland's stick and down the other way. Chasing forward here is Madison Morris, wearing 24 for Parkland. She has 3 goals in the last 2 games for the Trojans. As the Spartans bring it back here. Tolshin, forehanding one behind the net. Seeing more of you join the stream, good to see. Again, for those of you just tuning in, sorry, the original stream link I put out, I had some technical issues. Whenever I start streaming YouTube and do it on my phone, it gives me an option of either streaming vertically or horizontally, and I can't do both. I always do horizontally, so I had a little issue with that for some strange reason. But hey, we're good to go now. Taken away by Zager. Zager trying to move on in, and that puck goes wide of the net of Rigoni. We got a lot to talk about tonight as we are in Southern Lehigh senior night. Easler lost possession. Parkland trying to kick it back out, and now it goes to Lorch. Strauss trying to get away from it. It's intercepted there. Here comes Walter, and it's blocked by Easler. Strauss trying to whack right back for it for the Spartans. He'll ring it off the boards to high net for Redden, trying to make a centering pass, and that goes wide. Parkland will now take it on the right side there. Trying to go back the other way was Bus, but this will be an offsides against Parkland. So again, if you're just joining us, sorry for the stream, different stream I'm on now since I had technical issues, but I was just able to get this up right before the game started. So I didn't even get to my pregame, which I'll talk about at the next whistle. But for those of you who don't know, this game is huge for the LVSHL, as we already know 3 teams that are going to the Phantoms Cup, the Saints, Bethlehem, as well as Northampton. The last playoff spot is being battled between these 2 teams tonight. So here's a look at the standings. Bethlehem Area School District Strauss Nazareth is in first place, 19 points, 9 wins, no losses, a tie. They have clinched the first seed. They will play the winner of this game, actually, on March 6th, which is next week, the first round of the Phantoms Cup. And as I say that, I think we have do we have a penalty coming up? We do. We have a penalty on Walter, and I'm trying to see who for Parkland is going in there. I think that was Lorch. I couldn't exactly tell based on the number, but apparently we have a 4-on-4 now for the next 2 minutes. Back to what I was saying on the standings. Lehigh Valley Saints is in second place, 11 points, 4 wins, 2 losses, 3 ties. They've clinched a playoff spot. They will play Northampton, and Northampton has the 3rd seed. That goes out of play. So Northampton, 3rd seed, 10 points, 4 wins, 3 losses, 2 ties. The 2nd and 3rd seeds are not clinched yet between the Saints and Northampton, but it is guaranteed those 2 teams are going to play each other. It's just a matter of what seed they both have, and really, that doesn't matter since all the playoff games take place at the PPL Center. So it's just a matter of what jerseys those 2 teams will wear. So that's what's going on there. And then the 4th seed, Parkland currently is on the 4th spot right now with 6 points, 3 wins, 5 losses, and no ties. They'll clinch a playoff spot with a win. They do have another game after this. They'll play Northampton on March 2nd, but that game will not matter if Southern Lehigh wins. If the Spartans win, they clinch the spot. If the game ends in a tie tonight, which is possible, then no one clinches tonight. Then Parkland would still have control of their own destiny. So if it's a tie game tonight, Parkland would have to either tie or beat Northampton on March 2nd. But we'll talk about that if this game ends in a tie score, which is unlikely, but you never know. That shot, they score! Parkland strikes first to get it past Rigoni on the left circle, and they have a 1-0 lead. We'll see who that was. And based on the fist pump line, try to see who the number is for sure. There we go, 43. Bryce Haas, his second goal of the season. Parkland goes up 1-0. One scare the Spartans had coming into this game was actually their goaltender, Connor Rigoni. We were a bit concerned if he wasn't going to play. Apparently, he's dealing with a sickness of some kind, but he's at least good enough to be here and play tonight. And thankfully, because we don't, at least thankfully from the Spartans' viewpoint, they do not have a goaltender. And actually, I forgot to talk about the goalie stats. This is what happens when you get behind on pregame. Connor Rigoni starting in that 1-5-0, goals against average 6.0, save percentage of .775. Nate Torres in that for Parkland, 3-5-0, goals against average 3.97, save percentage of .850. I'm sorry, I'm just like throwing all this information out instead of commentating the game. I'm just behind on my pregame. But I'll get back to that in a moment. So Parkland is up 1-0 with 12 minutes remaining in the first period. Again, there's no overtimes in these Scholastic games in the regular season, only in the playoffs, which start later next week at the PPL Center. I'll go over more details about the Phantoms Cup momentarily. Spartans clear the other way. It's Schwartz off the boards. Torres leaves it for his defense. And trying to chase it down, it's Easler. Schwartz keeps it alive. Gives it to Shane Redden. Redden with a shot goes high over the net. He tried to go high side on Torres. Shane Redden having an outstanding senior year for the Spartans, leader in goals with 13. We did have a senior ceremony honoring the 8 seniors on the Spartans team. I've recorded it, so when you see the full video of this later this week, you'll be able to see the full ceremony. I got to do the public address announcing for that, and that certainly was fun. Marsteller escapes Edwards. He'll turn on back behind the net. He'll backhand one to Easler. Rush with some speed, trying to go over the line. Gets around a few players here. Puck bounces off the blue line and back to center ice. This is Lorch. Good defensive stick by Strauss. Lake trying to go after it. Now it's Seaschultz. Lorch backhanding one off the boards. Actually, that was not Haas. That was actually Yoakum trying to go after, and that shot goes wide there for Parkland. Lake towards Strauss. And back comes MJ Edwards the other way. Edwards over the line, trying to pass it to Bernelson, but he tipped off the stick of Marsteller. Good defensive play by 25 for Parkland. Marsteller again with possession, and his puck goes back towards the defense for Seaschultz to pick it up. Falling down there was Strauss. Lorch picks it up here for Parkland. Off the boards across, it's gloved down by Zager. As it's cleared back off the boards from Bertelsen. Here's McCulley wearing number 4 for Parkland. He'll chase for it down near the corner. Whacked off the stick of Seaschultz. Zager ran to Redden, and here comes Southern Lehigh near neutral ice. Over the line here is Bertelsen. Past Marsteller, lost control. It's poke check there by Nate Torres. Hitting off the glass is Marsteller, chased down by Madison Morris. But it goes to Myrick first. Takes it behind the net. He'll skate through center. Myrick over the line as he might need some reinforcements here. Myrick with a shot. Save! Rebound! Oh, it's stopped there by Torres. The second chance came from Schwartz. I believe Torres got a piece of it. Oh, what a good chance there for the senior Cole Schwartz. Puck is near the Parkland bench. It's stuck under a few skates and sticks. And now goes to Tolshin. Guiding it across there for Mulhern. And Myrick brings it right back past the line. His shot goes off with Torres and wide. A little less than 9 minutes to go in the first period. It's 1-0 Parkland. The only goal coming from Bryce Haas' second goal of the season. Myrick avoiding the check of Morris. This is Josh Tolshin. Myrick across ice. Mulhern gets leveled there, slightly there by Zager, but he seems to be all right. And now Jackson Bus into the Spartan zone, passing it to the left side for Haas. Rings it off the boards, and that deflects out of play. So, like I was saying, winner goes to the playoffs and will clinch the 4th seed. Parkland has not made the playoffs since 2022. The Spartans have not been to the playoffs since 2023. So Bethlehem is in, Saints are in, Northampton's in. The winner of this game will make it in. Emmaus is out. Upcoming schedule for the LVSHL, because there's still some more games in varsity after this game tonight. On February 28th, Emmaus will play the Lehigh Valley Saints. If the Saints win, they'll clinch the 2nd seed. But again, the 2nd and 3rd seeds don't really matter at this point. It's just a matter of what jerseys these teams wear in the Phantoms Cup. And then on March 2nd, Northampton will play Parkland, which could potentially also affect the 2nd and 3rd seeds. And Parkland can still clinch a playoff spot in that game against Northampton if this game ends in a tie. Once again, we welcome those of you joining in. Sorry that I changed the live stream link that I had earlier. Had some technical issues, but we seem to be good to go now. Here comes Haas, trying to get on Burleson. Got a shot on that as he checked Burleson down. Rigoni turns it aside. Southern Lehigh comes back the other way. This is MJ Edwards shooting it for the line, and that stop is made by Torres, who squeezes it with 7.5 to go in this first of 3 regulation periods. We have a great crowd here at Bethel Municipal Ice Rink. Definitely my experience calling games here the last few years. The senior nights definitely have the most in attendance. I think that overall, it's just about the same amount of people that was here when the Spartans played Phillipsburg in the senior night 2 years ago. The Spartans won that game 8-1. Daniel Musgrave had his first and only goal as a Spartan in that game in the last minute. That was definitely great. Remember, they score! Josh Tolson from the point may have been deflected, and he's tied the game. We'll see who's in front of the line here. It's Josh Tolson on senior night. Tie game at 1. That's his first of the season. He had 3 assists coming into this game. I thought he may have deflected, but he just took a simple shot from the blue line and a big goal for the Spartans to tie this puppy up at 1. Tolson, during the 2023-24 season with Phantoms Youth 16A, he had 37 points in 36 games. But that's his first goal as a member of the Spartans of this year and really any year, because it's his first and only year he'll ever play for the Spartans since he is his senior. Redden takes it here for Southern Lehigh. Taken by Lorch on the high slot. Took a shot from long range, and Rigoni gloves it down and makes the save. And like I was saying earlier, I'm behind on stuff I would have mentioned in the pregame. So here's tonight's inactives. 2 players are out for Parkland. 2 for Southern Lehigh. For Parkland is Carson Kunkel as well as Daniel Zeichel. 2 players out for the Spartans. First one is Dylan Smith. And the other senior, unfortunately, it's unfortunate when any player is out, but really what makes it worse is that the other senior that's out is senior Nick Humphrey. I say that just because he's one of 8 seniors, and he's one of 3 players, if you include him, Schwartz, and Edwards, that have been with his team for 4 years. He had an injury with his collarbone, and he's not going to be able to play tonight. He is here on the bench watching on. He got a good senior ceremony there, or at least he got tribute there by me. And if the Spartans make the Phantoms Cup playoffs, he will be unable to play the rest of the year. He's definitely going to be around for the rest of the games, but Humphrey will certainly be missed on the ice. And admittedly, not to sound too biased, but I love watching Humphrey play here. Definitely one of the more passionate players, or one of the most passionate players I've met in being part of a team these last few years. Humphrey finishes his Spartans career, or actually, I'll get to his final stats later. Humphrey finishes his season with 2 goals, 4 assists, and 6 points with 16 penalty misses. He led the team in penalty miss this year. And Schwartz off the draw. That shot is blocked. 6 minutes to go in the first period. The game is tied at 1 apiece. Goals coming from Bryce Haas as well as Josh Tolson. Both players getting their first goals of the season. Actually, no, Haas got his second of the season. My bad. This will be Lorch behind the net. Turns around there from Strauss. His brother Andrew plays for Kutztown University, their Division III team. He whiffed on his clearing attempt. Edwards trying to keep it in. He gets shoved there, and now he takes it for the Spartans. Edwards trying to get around a few defenders. Back pass for Strauss. Whacks it there through for Schwartz. Trying to shoot it to the net, and Torres makes the stop. Connor McGinty across ice. Speaking of McGinty and Kutztown, I've been hearing from my sources from the Kutztown ice hockey team that McGinty, a senior for Parkland, will be joining the Kutztown Golden Bears next year. We'll see what team he makes, whether it's their Division II or Division III team. We could use some more prospects for next year. I can just say that from my experience broadcasting the team. And there's something icing here against Parkland with 5:14 to go in the first. So here is the final stats for Nick Humphrey. I actually counted it up. He played 47 games, 4 seasons, 14 goals, 14 assists, 28 points, 54 penalty minutes, and he was an absolute playoff warrior with the Spartans as well. He had a great run during his freshman and sophomore years when he had chances to play in the postseason. Grant Lake moves back the other way for the Trojans, and Meyer got to it first. Lake tried to check him from behind with 5 minutes to counting to go in this period. Marstow from the point took a shot, and that goes wide of Rigoni. May got a piece of it on the way, possibly. And Dancho, wearing 13 for the Spartans, gets leveled there by Haas on a legal checking play. Parkland takes it back. Marstow fell down. Myrick brings it to Josh Tolson, who takes it for the Spartans. See more of you join the stream. Glad you guys were able to join us. Read in, whacked there by Haas. Easor takes it for Parkland. So I was thinking Parkland was actually going to be wearing their red uniforms tonight, because unless I got things messed up. I thought their white jerseys were their home uniforms. The Spartans are labeled as the home team tonight, although Southern Lehigh only has one uniform this year, and that's their blues. But no matter. Marstower outlines a pass there for Zager. Myrick holding on here. 4 minutes to go in the period. He'll lift one through center. Trying to connect the play to Schwartz, and this will be an icing here against the Spartans. So regardless of what happens in this game, and I'm saying that because I'm the broadcaster of the Southern Lehigh Spartans, this will be the last game I ever broadcast in Bethel Municipal Ice Rink. I love calling games in this rink. This is my last year. I'm broadcasting the LVSHL. I am doing the Phantoms Cup playoffs this year at the PPL Center. I thank the Phantoms for letting me broadcast in there for the 3rd straight year. That's going to be fun starting next week. But this will be my last game I cover in this facility. Some people love it here. Some might call this place a dump, but I say it's my kind of dump. But no, it's not a bad rink at all. It's a good rink. Olympic-sized Bethel Municipal Ice Rink, home of the Lehigh Valley Winter Classic and the Lehigh Valley Scholastic Hockey League. And actually, there's a player on Parkland by the name of Liam Reed, wearing number 5 for Parkland, who's also a member of the Lehigh Valley Polar Bears, who played in the Lehigh Valley Winter Classic a few weeks ago. Edwards trying to wrap it around and went off the pads of Torres and wide. McGinty avoids a stick of Seashalt. Parkland goes on the attack. McGinty tried to toe drag around a few defenders. And Rigoni made the stop. Parkland attempted to get a rebound, but it comes back to Zager. Trying to shoot one. It's blocked. And Schwartz will lift one through center, try to get it to Strauss. Couldn't connect on the pass. Marsteller over the line. Holds on, waits, shoots one. That goes off the glass. Dancho. Lake keeping it onside, firing it in. And it's blocked, Bertelson. And Marstow will keep it onside. 2.5 remaining in this first period. This comes right behind the net. Seaschultz trying to get it to Mulhern. Past Marstow. Mulhern will chase it down, but getting to it first is trying to see who that is for Parkland. I think that's Lorch. It is. Marsteller across ice. Here comes Zager on the left wing. Ran to a Spartan's body, picked up by Lake. Off the bench is Easler, puck to the back and goes to Madison Morse. 3 goals in the last 2 games for Madison. And those are her only goals of the season. Parkland is on a 2-game winning streak coming into tonight. Southern Lehigh is on a 4-game losing streak. Their longest losing streak since 2020-21. This is the icing here against the Trojans. They'll move the face-off in the Parkland zone now. And if you're just tuning in, yes, I did record the senior ceremony. You'll see that when the full video of this game is posted later this week. This will be Redden and Lake for the draw. And off the face-off, Redden off the board. So backhand one from behind. Burleson trying to shovel the puck into the net. Kaplan off the boards down to Myrick. At center here. Nearly taken away there by Parkland. That was Jackson Yoakum, brother of Luke Yoakum, I believe, member of the Kutztown Golden Bears and former Parkland Trojan. Meyer whiffs on the shot there. Takes possession here. Backhand one's there for Redden. Getting around a few defenders. Redden whiffed on the shot. Actually, before he shot the puck, there was a stick on him from Parkland, so he didn't get enough strength to it. Redden trying to give one past the defender. He gets checked there by Lake. Taken by Marsteller. Gets somewhat shoved there near the Spartans bench. Josh Tolson will flip one across sites for Strauss. Last minute to play in this first period. Easler. Ran to by the body of Walter, who missed a decent amount of games this year, but the Spartans fortunately have him back on the roster tonight. Walter has been very good when he's been on the ice, especially offensively this year. He has 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points. 38 seconds left and counting. This is Myrick with Marsteller in front of him. Myrick waits, shoots one, and that goes off the pad of Torres and wide. Walter takes it here, ran to by Zager. 24 seconds on the clock. Edwards in front, trying to get in there is Mulhern, and Torres with the stop, and he's got it with 18.8 seconds to go. This year for Southern Lehigh, 8 of the 14 players are seniors, if you include MJ Edwards, Nick Humphrey, Cole Schwartz, Josh Tolson, Shane Redden, Brant Strauss, Tyler Bertelson, and Connor Rigoni. It's just like the Spartans in the 2022-23 season, where 8 of their 13 players were seniors. This case is 8 out of 14. It's the last year for a lot of guys. It's the last year for me, and it might even be the last year for Coach Greco as well. That's the end of the first period. Tied at 1 after 1. We'll be back for the second. While we're in the second intermission, and again, sorry for those of you watching it, I was behind on some things since I didn't have a pregame. Wanted to talk about some other things as the second period's about to begin. And before I do, I'll just mention it's tied at 1 goal apiece. Goals coming from Bryce Haas and Josh Tolson. Haas his second goal, Tolson his first of the season. So suddenly has lost 4 straight games coming into tonight's game. They lost 4-1 to the Saints, 8-5 to Bethlehem. They lost 10-4 to Bethlehem again. And then in the last game, they lost 8-6 to Northampton. If you exclude last year when the Spartans combined with East Penn suddenly, as Bertelson saying, turn me up. That's a line he always says. But if you don't count last year, this is their longest losing streak since the 2020-21 season when the Spartans lost their first 3 games of the season. And the last game against Northampton, they were down 7-3 in the third period. They made 7-6. And they lost 8-6. They had a legit chance to tie that game up at 7 apiece. They made 7-6 with 1:30 to go in the third period, but they just ran out of time as Northampton got an empty net goal. And, it's ironic. Last year, these 2 teams played on Southern Lehigh's senior night when Southern Lehigh was combined with Emmaus, known as East Penn Southern Lehigh. Parkland had to win that game to get to the playoffs to clinch the 4th seed. Like tonight, East Penn Southern Lehigh was way out of a playoff spot. The Spartans upsetted them and won 3-1. Bertelson on the wing. This is turned aside by Torres and goes out of play. And to get back to what I was saying for that game last year, the Spartans were 0-8 to start the season, and then they beat Bethlehem in the 9th game. And then they defeated Parkland in the last game of the season to end their season on a high note. This year, the Spartans are trying to get back to the postseason. Big face-off here on the left side of Nate Torres. Edwards wins the face-off. Actually, Parkland takes it right back. Haas makes a pass off the boards, and so chase it down to the corner. I must admit, it is weird not seeing Humphrey on the ice at this point, but understandably so with his injury, he's not able to join the team tonight. But back to this game, Marsteller controls, backhands one as Dancho briefly touched it. Bertelson will take it here. Actually, no. He'll go back to Parkland, centering pass, whacked there by C. Schultz. Walter tried to control, almost lost his balance, and some move back the other way offensively for the Spartans. Walter gets taken down hard there. Another hit by Bryce Haas. C. Schultz will go to the bench now. Meyer tried to intercept this pass. This will not be icing. Shot, and that is saved there by Rigoni from Yoakum. Northampton in their last game against Southern Lehigh had a goal where they canceled an icing and shot from the same spot, but this time Rigoni was able to make the save. Good to see Connor in net tonight. Parkland goes on another attack here as Lords deflects this puck. It goes over the net. Parkland keeps up the offense here. This is blocked off a Spartans 6, and then they score! Parkland retakes the lead. It is Connor McGinty. Not sure if it was turned over. I think it was kind of screened there to see what exactly happened, but regardless, McGinty has scored. Parkland has retaken the lead. It's 2-1 Trojans as the future Golden Bear gets his 5th of the season. Parkland has now scored the same amount of goals they scored against the Spartans the last time they played them, which is earlier this year when the Spartans won 5-2. That was the only game for the Spartans I missed this year. They played, but the roads were very foggy where I was at home, and I was unable to go to that game. The last goal was the empty netter, but they've scored the same amount of goals they did against the Spartans last time, as they are now up 2-1. Tolzin, Myrick on defense this year. Nearly lost it. Parkland takes it right back. On the wing, McGinty across ice. Zager lost control, and we have a penalty on Josh Tolzin. It's going to be for a trip, I believe. Yes. Josh Tolzin serving for 2 for tripping up Eric Zager. Big power play coming up here for Parkland. So like I was saying earlier, the Trojans have not made the playoffs since 2022. They are the most successful team in the LVSHL's history. 14 championships. At one point, they won 11 straight consecutive years. Their 14 titles were all won within a 17-year span. Admittedly, their teams haven't been as strong since the 2022 season and the last time they're in the playoffs, they were eliminated by Southern Lehigh, ironically, in the game that actually got me into broadcasting in the first place. Easler on the blue line, shoots one, he scores! Easler from far out, top bar and in. Parkland, a power play goal, now leads 3-1. Austin Easler, his 3rd of the season. And on the man advantage, Parkland earns their first 2-goal lead of the night. They are up 3-1 with 14.5 to go in the second period. So a lot of these players on this Parkland team, nearly almost everyone on this roster, if not everyone that has next to no playoff experience in varsity at least. The only player I believe that does have playoff experience, at least in varsity, is Eric Zager. I could be wrong, though, but I'm pretty sure it's just him. So Spartans in a bit of a tough spot, but they still got plenty of time to work with. Parkland trying to hold on to this lead. Parkland will regain possession here. Boss had it for a moment. Bernelson will try to pick it up here. Hits it off the boards and rings around towards the point of Redden. And now it's Bernelson. Trying to connect the play to Walter. All the way down for Marsteller to pick it up. He'll flip it down. Almost connected to the stick there of Haas, who's I've mentioned his name quite a bit tonight. Come to think of it. Walter on the wing. Backhands one. Taken back by the Trojans. Haas will go for it. Burleson, I think, almost got to it first there. Meyer I think he tried to hesitate to clear on the boards, but he'll then do it there to the corner for Jackson Bus. Falling down is Strauss. Myrick trying to lift one for Walter. Almost thought that was Redden. His number is similar. Walter is 55, Redden is 58. Redden and Walter now go to the bench. As Parkland goes back on yet another offensive attack. That shot goes wide of Rigoni from Haas on the wing. Tolzin avoids Haas. As he has Myrick in front of him, he'll pass it to the right side for Edwards. Edwards trying to get to the left side for Myrick. Takes it on the corner near the Zamboni doors. And what I mean by that is the corner where the Zamboni comes out. Puck comes right behind the net for Easler, the recent goal scorer, to take it for Parkland. Trying to reach one across. Tolzin once again takes it for the Spartans. But you notice he actually doesn't have his name on the back of his jersey. He came in a little late at the beginning of the season. Trying to reach for the puck. It was Marsteller. And this will be... Is this an icing or did Torres... Actually, no, it's not icing. Torres covered it up. I thought it was an icing for a second. It was not. 12.5 remaining in the period. 3-1 Parkland. Marstell at center. Takes it on the left wing. Holds on backhander, but nobody there for Parkland to shoot it in. Edwards. Looking for someone to pass to. No one there. And this will be an icing against Southern Lehigh. 12:06 remaining in the second period. Taking me to the game today is actually Parkland Trojan alumni and current player for the Kutztown Golden Bears, Josh Bowery. Wears number 6 for Kutztown. He wore the Mario Lemieux 66 for Parkland. So I thank him for taking me to the game. He actually wanted to come watch Eric Zager and a few others tonight. So he figured he'd take me along for the ride. Bauer was on the last Parkland playoff team, actually, in 2022. He's here tonight in his LVSHL career. 67 games, 35 goals, 52 assists, 87 points, and 94 total penalty minutes. Myrick tried to cut on him, but he lost possession of the puck. Picked up, right in, that deflected wide. Puck bounces towards center and over the blue line. Actually, no, it did go over it. This will be an offsides here against the Spartans. And I think I may have missed something. Is there a penalty that they put on the board? I'm not sure if that's a malfunction or did someone go into the box. I think I may see someone in. I can't tell. Let's count how many players on the ice. Oh, it's a power play for the Spartans, apparently. I missed that. I am so sorry. There's 4 players on the ice for Parkland. It is a power play. I'm sorry for missing that. I should not miss things like that, but I did. I'll have to see what that is later. So, big power play for the Spartans. Apparently, there's 1:30 and counting left on it. They're down by 2. 11.5 to go in the second. Bertelsen. Schwartz. Taken away by Parkland. Short-handed. Here comes Zager. In on that Zager! And he missed it wide. Redden was playing good defense there. Not sure if he was hooked or not, but we continue to play on. Might have been hooked, actually, possibly. But Parkland killing some clock here. Halfway through the power play now. Myrick. Schwartz to Bertelsen, and this bounces past his stick. And it'll go to MJ Edwards. Edwards over the line. 48 seconds on the power play. Makes some moves around Lorch. Taking the puck right behind the net. As Bertelsen on the play. Guy to him. Myrick waiting on the other side. Bertelsen reaches for it. Bertelsen shoots one. Saved by Torres. No rebound was there. Parkland tried to knife this puck away from Myrick. And it's cleared past center ice. 27 seconds to go in the power play. We'll actually see who was in the box for Parkland in about 20 seconds. Myrick for Southern Lehigh. His 3rd season with the blue and white. Drops it off there for Walter, taken back by the Trojans. That was Zager. It is Zager. Some of these numbers for Parkland are a little harder to read. This is only the second time I've seen Parkland this season. This is no icing here. Power play has expired, and it was Sawyer Marsteller actually who served the penalty. I'll ask him later what that was on, or what that was for, I should say. Burleson ran to Josh Tolson. Friendly fire there. 10 minutes to go in the second. 3-1 Parkland. Winner goes to the playoffs and clinches the 4th seed. They'll play Bethlehem Area School District / Nazareth, the number 1 seed. It'll be a challenge for either team, but you never know. It's a 1-game elimination. Torres makes a save, and he'll hold on with 9:39 to go in the second. So Parkland started the season with a record of 1 win and 5 losses. They've won their last 2 straight, a 7-6 win versus the Saints, and a 3-0 win versus Emmaus. And their 7-6 win against the Saints, it was actually their senior night at Steel Ice Center. And the crazy thing about that game, they were down 6-1 versus the Saints. They won 7-6. And their game-winning goal was scored with 1 second to go in the 3rd period. So that win will definitely help them if they make the playoffs, if they win tonight. Marsteller's shot was stopped there by Rigoni. C. Schultz. This knuckle puck rolls there to Josh Tolshin. Makes some nice move around Madison Morris and McGinty. Across for Walter. Deposits it in, trying to add one for Edwards. Trying to take possession, shoots one, and a save by Nate Torres. Edwards wanted me to mention on his great performance he had in the Phantoms Cup 2 years ago against the Northampton Concrete Kids during the senior ceremony. You'll see that later on. This is tipped towards the goal of Torres, but I think it was blocked off a Parkland stick. Morris over the line. Making some dekes around Seashell. Trying to center it, and it whacked off the stick of Tolshin, and it will be gained by Walter. To Redden. Redden trying to gain space. Gets somewhat checked there near the Spartans bench, actually, and Parkland will shoot it back the other way. This will not be icing since it did not go all the way down. Seaschultz. Myrick collecting here. Backhanding one for Redden. Coming in over the line. Redden waits. Fell down. Some Spartans players are looking for a penalty. I think he just lost his balance unless I missed something there. And the Trojans will go on yet another offensive attack. Easler. Nice move, Ron Bertelsen. Shoots, he scores! He's got another one! Austin Easler, his second of the game. He had 2 goals coming into tonight's matchup. He now has 4 in the season. Parkland is now up 4-1. So Easler, his second goal of the game, 4th of the season. Parkland is now up by 3. The most goals now they've scored against the Spartans this season at 4, as they scored 2 against them earlier this season. Shane Redden. The bus right behind him. He'll backhand one towards center. And we have an arm up in the air here. Actually, no, it's not a penalty. It's just a delayed offside here against the Spartans, wiped off. Redden, nice move around Haas. Get it on a few other Trojans. Took a shot on that, and that's saved by Torres, I believe. Sometimes, even though I've been calling games in this rink for 3 years now, it's always hard to tell what's happening on the other side of the ice sometimes, especially towards the opposing net. This rink is Olympic size, if you didn't know. Bertelsen centering to Edwards, and that goes wide over the net of Torres and off the glass. Parkland moves back on another attack. Here's Zager. Actually, beg my pardon, that is Bus. Falling down is Meyer. He's hurt. Play continues on. He's down on his knees. Actually, he's getting up now, and he's gimping towards the bench. Meanwhile, this is Edwards at center. Broken up there as Meyer is still on the ice. I think he's just going to stay on there for now, since Parkland's coming in the offensive attack here. Lorch. Waits, shoots on the angle, a save by Rigoni. Rebound over the net is Yokami. Slams the stick in frustration. Burleson makes a check, and Rigoni does not have his stick on his hand. He's out of position slightly. He'll pick it back up momentarily. Meyer is still on the ice as he's laboring some kind of pain here. This puck rings off the glass. Less than 6 minutes to go in the second. Parkland is up 4-1. Easler off the stick of Bertelsen. He'll shoot one, or he'll whack one towards the wing for Edwards, and this might be Meyer's chance to get to the bench if he can hurry. And he will. Parkland clears it to Easler, who's been obviously busy with the puck tonight, scoring twice, wearing 9 for the red and white. Easler escaping Redden, takes it behind the net, turns back. Zager will take it here for the Trojans. As they'll skate through center. Coming in over the line. Zager holds, waits, fires. Saved by Rigoni. The puck is still loose in the crease as he'll get the whistle as he gloves the puck down. 5:01 remaining in the second. Still 4-1 in favor of the Parkland Trojans. Tonight's a special day in hockey history. Today marks 45 years since the 1980 Miracle on Ice team defeated Finland to win the gold medal. One thing a lot of people don't know is that even after the U.S. team beat the Soviets in the Miracle on Ice is that they still had one more game. The gold medal game was not them beating the Soviets. It was beating Finland, which happened 45 years from today. Zager, and that shot's turned away there by Rigoni. Wondering if there'll be any special events when the Miracle on Ice eventually reaches to 50 years, but it's at 45 right now. If you actually go on Instagram, the Miracle on Ice, there's actually a Miracle on Ice page, so they always update it on the status of their players and staff members from 1980, and they posted about the anniversary today. And I thought, I'll just talk about it in this game. On the point is Seashell. That shot is blocked. Parkland next takes it away. Here's McGinty for another goal for Parkland. McGinty backhand. Rigoni with the stop. As the senior goalie denies the senior forward for Parkland. Dancho trying to clear it back, cannot. McGinty will go for it here. Tolson trying to pressure. Zager takes it for Parkland. Towards the point. Lorch holds. As he tried to escape Tolson, he falls down. As Tolson will guide one ahead. Intended for Walter, intercepted by the Trojans. This is Zager, knifed away by Schultz. Less than 4 minutes to go in the period. 4-1 Parkland. That's tipped wide from Morris, trying to extend her goal streak. Now it's back to the point. That shot goes wide. That was from Sawyer Marsteller. Easler off the stick of Schultz. Walter avoids the check of Morris. Walter on the right side. Turns back. Backhand pass. Actually, it was a shot. And it's covered up by Nate Torres with 3:20 to go in the period. During the third period, I'll go over the schedule for the... Actually, not during the third period. During the second intermission, I'll go over the schedule for the LVSHL playoffs, a.k.a. the Phantoms Cup for 2025. Bertelson from the left side, saved there by Nate Torres. As the Trojans will come back the other way. They've had a lot of offensive chances in the second period. We've had a great view of most of their goals. 3 of their 4 goals in this game have happened on this side of the ice because the first goal was in the first period. 3 of them here in the second. Easler trying to cut on in. Couldn't get a shot. As he'll hit it off the boards and wide there for Buss. Buss possesses here. Turns back from Edwards. Holds on. Gives it to Lake. Marcel waiting near the high slot, trying to tip it in front there, and it's poked out the way there by Rigoni. Another shot goes wide. Reed was in front of the net, the member of the Lehigh Valley Polar Bears. Played in the Lehigh Valley Winter Classic here a few weeks ago. I've spoken to Reed a few times, and he's such a sweet kid, too. Good to talk to. Always wishing everyone good luck. Bertelson trying to backhand one, and that's blocked. 2:11 and counting to go in the period. And Parkland will attempt to clear it here, or bring it back the other way. Marsteller over the line. Sawyer fanned on the shot, trying to get the puck right back. It'll go to Bertelson, who flips it off the ceiling and stops play with 1:55 to go in the second period. Faceoff will be on the left side of Connor Rigoni. It'll be Zager for Parkland and Redden for Southern Lehigh. Face-off won by the Spartans. Schultz trying to gather it. It'll go to Tolson. Nice move around. He tried to make a move around Richard Klingensmith, a player I have not seen much in the league until tonight, really. He's wearing the Sidney Crosby 87. Tolson behind the net. 1.5 to go in the period. Falling down was McGinty as well as Tolson. Schultz picks it up. Hits it off the boards. Tolson regathers here for the Spartans. Trying to get it to Redden. Intercepted by Zager. Here he comes over the line. Zager going to the net. Trying to shoot it forehand and stopped by the right pad of Rigoni. Walter made a check there, I think, on Zager on the glass near the Parkland bench. Here's Redden. That goes wide off the glass. He got a rebound there, and Torres was flopping like Dominic Hasek on that play. I'm not sure if he got a save on that rebound, but that second chance for Redden just goes wide. I wish I had another camera over there to know for sure. I'll ask Torres about that after the game. This is an offside against Parkland with 49.7 seconds remaining in the second. Redden that close to giving the Spartans some potential life here. Bertelson will go for the faceoff against Morris. Won by Tyler. Schultz. Myrick, who's back in the game. Definitely a good sign after he seemed a bit hobbled earlier. So again, no Humphrey or Smith for Southern Lehigh tonight. So they are slightly short-handed. 12 players on the roster out of 14 are here tonight, or at least they're playing, I should say. And actually, Coach Jeremy Howe is not here tonight, the assistant coach for Coach Greco. He couldn't make tonight's game either. Schultz trying to clear one ahead there. That was for Yoakum. Actually, no, that was Andrew Kaplan. Some of the players for Parkland might have gotten slightly mixed up because you got 42 Jackson Yoakum, 43 Bryce Haas, and 44 Andrew Kaplan. That's going to be the end of the second period. Parkland is up 4-1 there. A period away to go in the playoffs. Spartans are trying to prevent that from happening. And I'm actually not going to turn off the mic for this intermission because I want to go over the upcoming schedule for the Phantoms Cup, which is the Scholastic Hockey League's playoffs. So I will be broadcasting the playoffs on my channel this year, and we might potentially be able to broadcast the games on my channel and even on the Phantoms YouTube channel, possibly. We're trying to work out with that right now, because if you don't know, I'm actually intern with the Phantoms right now, so we're trying to get something going with that. So here's the schedule. On March 6th, it will be the elementary level semifinal games, which will be seeds 1 through 4 versus 2 and 3. And then it'll be the varsity first semifinal game, seed 1 versus seed 4, which would be Bethlehem versus the winner of this game, Parkland or Southern Lehigh. And then on March 7th, the middle school semifinals will begin. Both of those games for seeds 1 through versus 4, 2 versus 3. And then the second semifinal game for varsity will take place 2 versus 3, which will be the Saints versus the Concrete Kids. Then on March 10th will be the JV semifinal games. Both of those games will happen that night. And game 1 of a best-of-3 series in the varsity division. All the championship games are one-game elimination except for varsity. Those are best-of-3 games. And we've had a few game 3s these last few years, which is basically game 7 in the league. Hopefully we get that again. Then on March 11th is the elementary and middle school finals. March 12th is a JV final, a game 2 of a best-of-3 series in the varsity final. And if there's a game 3 in the varsity division, that will be on March 17th. I will be broadcasting games. So the games I'll be broadcasting for the semifinals, I'm only going to broadcast the varsity division. But for the finals, I'll broadcast all the championship games from varsity, JV, middle school, and youth. It'll be just like last year. I'll post actually a playoff preview some point next week or even later this week. I'll do it when I can. Third period's about to get underway. Possibly the last period for one of these teams. Parkland trying to get back to the playoffs for the first time since 2022. Spartans do not want to go down tonight. Here's Redden. Couldn't get a shot. Penalty coming up here against Parkland. Redden wraps it around. He scores! On the delayed penalty. Shane Redden gives the Spartans some life. It's 4-2 Parkland. Redden, who's had such a great year with Southern Lehigh, that's goal number 14. 16:47 to go. Spartans are trailing by 2 on the delayed penalty. Forgot to mention earlier that the Spartans made senior banners for all the players, and they were able to get some of them up on the glass, not all of them. They actually even made one for me, which was so nice. I thank the Spartans for that. I'll probably post that later. So this is going to be Easler on the angle try, and that shot goes wide. Easler, Redden, towards Walter. Parkland takes it back. This is Easler again on the left corner. Shoots from the angle, and that's blocked. Shane Redden with the hot stick on his hand. Guides one to Meyer with speed. Meyer gets shot, and that goes wide, whistling past the net of Nate Torres. Zager at center. Bouncing puck goes back to his stick. He'll take it here in the corner. Stops, and as he has a few passing options, he gives one to Easler from out. Shoots one. That's turned aside by Connor Rigoni. Rebound there. Rigoni made another stop there from McGinty. It's still loose. Another's on side, and then they score! Zager wide open, dumps it in. Parkland gets a quick response. And they're up by 3 goals once again. It's 5-2 Trojans. Zager, his 6th goal of the season. There was a good scramble, there was a mad scramble in front of the net of Rigoni. A lot of skates in front of him, and the puck was just passed on his left side, and honestly, there was nothing he could have done about that. It was an easy slam dunk there for Zager. This deflects off the blocker of Torres. So Parkland gets, ironically, what I used to say, an insurance goal, but I'm not going to say they provide the insurance. That goal line belongs to Anthony Greco, so I'm not going to give them that line. Here's Edwards with speed, fanned on the shot. Torres will try to cover up, and he does. 15:23 remaining in this game. Again, there's no overtimes in the regular season games, but maybe we'll even get an overtime game in the playoffs. And actually, speaking of overtime, Parkland, in their last Scholastic Championship in 2021, they won their championship on an overtime goal from Evan Marone to defeat Northampton back at the rink at Lehigh Valley. Bus. And you did catch what I said earlier. this is my last season with the Spartans, and will be my last year with the league. Not to sound too biased, I mean, of course, I'm hoping the Spartans can make it in, but I still not done with the league just yet after tonight, as I'll still have the Phantoms Cup later next week. So tune in for those games. I'll release a full schedule for that in the near future. And actually later this week, on Saturday, we'll begin Kutztown's ice hockey playoffs. And, I think I'll talk about more of that another time. I should focus on this game. Anyways, this is Cole Swartz at center. As a few Trojans try to take the puck from him. That was Lake. To Morris on the left wing. Centering there for Lake, and Rigoni will hold on with 14:25 to go in the game. And off this face-off, Spartans will move back. And this is Walter. Taken there was McGinty. McCauley trying to give one ahead. Takes it here for Parkland, shoots it in. And I want to mention something, too. If you hear me drinking my water at any point, I'm sorry for that. I haven't had time to shut off the mic when I had to clear my throat there. So I'm sorry if you heard that, but it's not the most pleasing sound. But sorry for that if you heard any of that. But anyways, Walter is asking for the pass. C. Schultz. We'll bring it here for the Spartans. Member of the Valley Forge Minutemen. Try to cut around a few defenders. Going to get a shot. Sends it back for Strauss. Strauss fires, and that's blocked by Easler. He's had an excellent game. Here's Redden on the corner. Trying to knife it through. Goes right behind the net. Centers it. Trying to whack it there is Walter. He couldn't get the shot. And Parkland escapes out the other way. Out ahead. Here comes Yoakum with space. Yoakum shoots. He scores! Yoakum with all the room in the world on the right side. Gets it past Rigoni, and Parkland is up 6-2. It's kind of a strange play how Yoakum was able to escape through center. That's his third of the season. Parkland's up 6-2 with 13.5 to go in the game. So Parkland with a 4-2 with a 4-goal lead, up 6-2. Southern Lehigh is trying to obviously come back into this game. If there's any possibility they come back, I think they'd be more aiming for a tie at this point, but that's definitely the best thing they can ask for. But Parkland, on the other hand, gets another goal there. They score! Bryce Haas, his second of the night, third of the season. My banner falls down. What great timing for that. It's okay. It falls. You don't have to put it back up. It falls down a lot. What ironic timing for that to happen. But Parkland gets another one. They're up 7-2. Haas is second of the game and third of the season. So Haas now with 2 goals on the night. Easler with 2 goals on the night. We'll see if either of them potentially get a hat trick. And don't let it seem like it was just irony that my banner happened to fall down right after that 7th goal for Parkland. Because if you don't know by now, obviously I'm with Southern Lehigh. But that's the problem I've been having with this rink all year. That some reason the suction cups I have with the banner, they keep it on the glass, keeps falling down. I might have to get new ones for the future. Lorch will give one ahead for Haas, and that goes wide of Rigoni. Parkland will retake the puck. They've had so much offensive possession tonight. I'm not just saying it just because they have 7 goals, but they've just had the puck a lot. We had a great view of that last period. Mulhern trying to whack for it. He'll take it on the wing. Backhands one. It's intercepted by Sawyer Marsteller. Marsteller, who may potentially get his first experience in the Phantoms Cup playoffs if Parkland holds on to this lead. They score again! I didn't even see who whacked that one in. I just saw the goal signal and next to no celebration. Gotta see who's getting this one. And I'm trying to see who it is. Actually, that is Madison Morris. That's her 4th of the season. Now on a 3-game goal streak. She had no goals before the last 3 games, but now she has scored 4 in 3 games. Definitely a player to watch out for in Parkland, more than likely making the playoffs at this point as they'll play Bethlehem Area School District, so that'll definitely be a player to keep an eye on. I didn't even see exactly what happened on how that one went in. There was a lot of players in front of me. It was kind of like a screen. I'm not sure if Rigoni was possibly screened. They try to get in again, but Southern Lehigh will come back the other way. Definitely not the situation the Spartans wanted to be in, but, you know, I mean, I know like a comeback is almost all but impossible at this point. They're down by 6 with 11.5 to go, but, you know, if I'm a player on that ice at this point, I just play for pride. Just play as hard as you can, especially if you're one of the seniors. Here's Schwartz on the corner, shoots one that goes off the glass. And what you might be witnessing might be the last minutes in Spartans hockey history. I mean, to be honest, who knows if this team returns next year? 8 of the 14 players are seniors. Coach Greco's leaning towards retirement. I'm going to be moving on from the league, and to be honest, Southern Lehigh isn't the biggest hockey school in the world, so whatever players are left, unless they can get a whole group to assemble the team next year and maybe combine with a mass again, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But whatever players that are not graduating on this team, I'm sure will still be in this league next year. But this might be the end of the Spartans hockey era, possibly. Whether they win or lose this game, whether win or lose in the playoffs, I'm just saying just that in general. But maybe I'm saying that more because of they're down by 6 at the moment. But, you know, even though they're down by a good margin, at this point, I might as well call the game like always. Seashell shoots one that goes over Torres. Dancho clearing it off the side of the net there. Strauss trying to get to it. Easler skates back the other way for Parkland. Curves through center, shoots him a long range. Actually, he just deposits it in and off the corner. Tolzin trying to get it free. Reaching for the puck was Richard Clayton-Smith. And that shot for Parkland goes wide. The puck is now on the stick of Josh Tolzin on defense for Southern Lehigh. Edwards knifed it there for Strauss. Clears it on the onside play for Edwards. Edwards, shoots it. Closing the door is Torres as he makes the stop with his 2 pads. And I must say for Nate Torres for Parkland, I always thought he just needed a better team around him to really thrive. And he's looking to get his first experience in the playoffs very soon. Like his stats is 3.97 goals against average and a save percentage of .850. But I always thought he was very skilled and just need a better team around him. And with Parkland winning the last 2 straight coming into this one, looking to get back to the playoffs, he'll get his chance in postseason hockey. And I believe he is a senior. Here's Burleson. Backhander, saved by Torres. Another chance on that. Strauss had to whack it in, and hitting it with the blocker was Torres. Easler moves through center ice. Here he comes for Parkland over the line as this puck floats back towards the other side of the rink. Easler gets taken down by Bernelson. I'm not sure if he was tripped up or he just fell. I think he just lost his balance, really. Taking the puck is Shane Redden. With room, he's got Walter behind him. Redden fires, saved by Torres, and he'll squeeze it with 8.5 to go in the game. And actually, now that I look at the scoreboard, the mercy ruling has been placed on the score clock. And what I mean by that is when a team is down by at least 6 goals, they keep the clock running. Meyer, that shot is blocked. So they will not stop the clock unless the Spartans are down by less than 6 goals. So they're down by 6. It's going to keep running even on whistles. There is a JV game after this. I think it involves Emmaus, and their game actually is slightly delayed because we had our senior ceremony, which lasted about 15 minutes. Here's Redden, all alone, and this is an offsides against the Spartans. I didn't realize that was offsides until the last moment as Redden was slowing down with the puck towards the net. So the clock is still running. It's 7.5 and counting left in this one. And I might as well say at this point, to not sound completely optimistic, but looks like we know who's going to make the Phantoms Cup playoffs this year. Parkland is looking to play Bethlehem Area School District / Nazareth in the first round. They'll be the first varsity playoff game on March 6th. I will be covering that game next week. Reed with a shot that's blocked. Sager picks it up and a right pass stop there by Rigoni. So Parkland will play Bethlehem and the Saints will take on Northampton. And just to throw a prediction while I'm at it, I actually think the Lehigh Valley Saints are going to win the Phantoms Cup this year. I know they're not the top team in the league, but I think it's their time. They made the finals 3 of the last 4 years. They never won a championship, and I feel like that this might be their year. But we'll see what happens. This will be Actually, no, it's not an icing. C. Schultz will take it here for the Spartans. Losing the puck there was Walter. Marsteller gives one ahead. It went off of Reed. Lake takes it here for Parkland. Lake, nice move there, trying to get a shot on that, and it goes wide behind the net. Tolzin. And the Spartans come back the other way. Redden towards the wing. Here's Ethan Myrick. Myrick back to Redden. Waits. Shoots C by Torres, and he's got it. 6 minutes and counting left to go in the game. Parkland's up by 6 as they lead 8-2. So Parkland's going to end their playoff drop, making the playoffs for the first time since 2022. Definitely an underdog considering they're the 4th seed, but they are definitely on a hot streak. I had to look at the scores when I make my playoff preview on how they did against Bethlehem Area School District during the season. They played them twice. As Parkland tried to cut on the inside, the net there for Kaplan, and saved by Rigoni. This comes in front again as they score again. 9 goals now for Parkland. I think it's going to Kaplan. Can't say for sure. We'll wait. There's been so many goals now on the other side of the ice. And I believe it is going to Kaplan, 44 for Parkland. As they're not even going to do a fist pump line. I think just mainly for sportsmanship purposes. 5 minutes to go in the game as Parkland is up by 7 goals now. Mulhern gives to MJ Edwards. Glove save there by Torres as he makes a nice stop with his glove hand on the left side. This will be Edwards on the offensive faceoff here for Parkland, for Southern Lehigh against Lake for Parkland. Edwards wanted there. Schwartz on the corner, trying to avoid the stick of Lake. Kaplan will take it here for Parkland on the right side. Tolzin to C. Schultz. He'll skate defensively here for the Spartans. 4 minutes to go in the game. C. Schultz on the left corner. Will stop in the circle. Has Edwards waiting in front of the net. He'll hit it off the boards as Edwards will attempt to get to it, but getting to the puck first is Lake. Edwards relentlessly trying to wrap it around as Torres made a stop on the left side of the net. Here comes Lake for Parkland. Knifed off his stick. And Kaplan, Mulhern ran into a few bodies there. Schwartz. Edwards takes it on a 1-on-2. Holds on the forehand. Shoots one. Saved by Torres as he'll cover the rebound. 3.5 to go in the game and counting. Parkland looking to get back to the playoffs. Now it's 3 minutes and counting as that killed about 30 seconds on the clock. Right in a backhander, no looker. Walter trying to get a rebound, couldn't get it past Torres. Easler, another player we'll definitely take a look at going into the playoffs. Marsteller, across ice for, I think that was Capwood. Actually, that was Yoakum. And Bertelsen will take it behind his net, trying to get to Strauss. Shane Redden clears it back to Bertelsen. Coming in over the line for the Spartans. Former member of Bethlehem Area School District last few years. Bertelsen behind the net. Hits it off the boards. They'll try to get it there for Walter. Walter couldn't shovel it past Torres as it was blocked off his pad. Easler. Off the stick of Walter to Sawyer Marsteller. McCauley trying to get it back, and it'll go to Bertelsen. 2 minutes to go in this one. Bertelsen trying to forehand. That shot goes wide. Strauss on the point. That shot, it goes to Redden. Walter in front. I think he intended to give that one to Redden, but he couldn't connect on the play. McCauley on the left side. Took a shot, and that goes wide. Yoakum. Forehands one. Shane Redden takes it right back for Southern Lehigh. Redden, who scored earlier tonight to make it a 4-2 game, but it's been all Parkland ever since. 1.5 to go in this game. Easler on the right wing. Past the blue line here for the Spartans in their zone. Almost picked up by Zager. Easler gets it right back. He'll curve around Redden. Turns on back. Easler shoots one, that's blocked. Another chance on that, they score! That's 10 goals now for Parkland. Their most goals they've scored in a game all year, and they're up by 8. Last minute to play in regulation time. They're just going to let the clock run out in this one. I would think they'll at least keep playing for the last minute. At least I hope they do at least, but we'll see. Parkland put in the exclamation point on the scoreboard if they haven't done that already. Time's going to wind down here, and here comes Cole Schwartz. He ran to the body there of Lorch. Zager will hit it off the glass. So as I was saying, time's going to wind down here at Bethel Municipal Ice Rink. Parkland putting on a clinic, scoring 10 goals tonight. They're going to the Phantoms Cup playoffs for the first time since 2022. This will be an icing with 20 seconds left. That might have just done it unless they get one more face-off. 15 seconds left. The clock is still running. 10 seconds to go. 8 seconds, 7, 6. Ready for the face-off against Ziger for the last play of the season. Off the face-off, Spartans win the draw, and that's the end of the game. The Parkland Trojans eliminate the Southern Lehigh Spartans from playoff contention. They beat Parkland. Parkland beats Southern Lehigh 10-2. Trojans go to the playoffs for the first time in a few years. They'll take on Bethel Area School District. Nate Torres and a bunch of other players finally getting their chance at playoff experience. They'll play Bethlehem on March 6th. The Lehigh Valley Saints will take on the Northampton Concrete Kids on March 7th. For the Spartans, they won a championship in 2022. They made the finals in 2023. They had to combine with Emmaus last year, missed the playoffs. They went back to becoming Southern Lehigh for this year. They lose their last 5 games of the season and miss the playoffs by a game. As they'll start the handshake line here at Bethel Municipal Ice Rink. So again, I'm not done with the Scholastic League just yet, but that is the last game I'll ever call on this rink. And that ends my career with the Southern Lehigh Spartans. 8 seniors leaving the Scholastic League forever after tonight. MJ Edwards, Nick Humphrey, Cole Schwartz, Josh Toljan, Shane Redden, Brent Strauss, Tyler Bernerson, and Connor Rigoni. Coach Greco leading towards retirement. His overall record in his career in 6 seasons now, 46 wins, 35 losses, 3 ties. 6 seasons, 85 games, 2 finals appearances, and 1 championship. Just want to throw that out there because this may have been his last game ever in the Scholastic League. Nick Humphrey, as well as C. Schultz and Bertelson joining him as they'll slowly get back to the locker room. I'm sure Coach Greco will have some words to say after the game. As for me, my final stats for this rink, this is now, I've called 29 games here at Municipal, and my final stats, 34 games for the Southern Lehigh Spartans as their season comes to an end and possibly the end of an era as a lot of players are leaving. Coach Greco is likely to go, and I'm going to be leaving as well. I am Nicholas Garofalo. I will save more of my thoughts later for how grateful I've been to be with this team in the league. After the Phantoms Cup, I'll probably put out an LVSHL thank you video, just like I'll do for Kutztown in the future. But for now, I just have to say, the team of this year, last year, years before, in truth, have been a blessing to my life. The people that I've met here, the good times I've had this rink, the championship we won in the beginning, and just everything we've done together has been special. Anthony Greco, James Penniger, Jackie Casey, Nick Humphrey, Boris Livak, Patrick Laughlin, and countless others I have had the privilege of calling games for, and some of them I'm close friends with. I still stay in touch to this day. They're a player that was with us in the past or even is with us today. I thank you for everything. Even if you just watch the channel just to see your highlights, I appreciate your support. And, I must say this, too. While I do games to get better in my career, I must admit something. In doing so, I've learned how much these teams, especially the Spartans team, has appreciated this because I understand that this is a smaller hockey league, especially for high school, and not all these teams get this much coverage. At least the Scholastic League here doesn't get as much coverage as it used to. But, I also do this because, I love this team. I truly do. This is my alma mater. I graduated here in 2021, and it was just a pleasure and honestly an honor to be a part of this group. And it's like I said in the senior ceremony, which you'll see later. I don't know where my life's going to go next, but wherever it takes me, because I want to work in this game for my life, I will never forget what we did together. This year and previous years, I will cherish this team for a long time. So I am Nicholas Garofalo. Thank you for tuning in for these last few years and watching Nick's hockey broadcast and covering the Southern Lehigh Spartans. I'm going to be signing off. Good night and good hockey. I'll be back for the Phantoms Cup next week, and I'll put a thank you video in the future to really show my gratitude to this team. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to miss this team so much, but it's time for me to move on. I'm Nicholas Garofalo signing off. Parkland Trojans win. Final score of 10-2. Good night. Good hockey. God bless you all.